Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
You know what? Let's just jump right into it.
Our
Local sports roundup brought to you by Amundsen's Appliance, because what a weekend for a lot of different stuff here.
Yes.
I want to start off with the Blue Golds, a program that we have talked about a few times this year. But then when you kind of put it in perspective where they were just a few years ago, this Blue Gold wrestling team. Now, first time, they shared it with lacrosse, but first time in their history, WIAC champions. What the job that Tim Fader has done with this group has been, this program has been extraordinary. And they're not done yet either here, because we got, don't be surprised if maybe some nationals kind of coming up here, but what a weekend for that group.
Oh, it is. I mean, this is a program that was on life support in the mid-aughts or whatever you want, not aughts, tens. And then Tim Fader comes in, great hire. That was just a perfect hire for this program. Builds it from the ground up.
Yeah.
And now everything's paying dividends. You know, you win a conference champion. You've got guys who are, getting their 100th wins one after another, getting those conference titles as well, and now nationals coming up. So, yeah, they just keep growing and growing and making those next steps. You set those goals, they surpass those goals and go to the next one. So it's been fun to watch it grow.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned him last week too. Izzy, though. I mean, the story of him coming back, right? I mean, just coming back because he last wrestled in the early 2010s. I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he was wrestling when I first got here. I mean, middle of when I got here, because it was Jen Chapman knew him pretty well, and she hasn't been here since 2014. So
and he wins an individual title.
Yeah,
at it.
He was always great, and it's great that he got that second chance. A lot of times in life you don't get that second opportunity, and for him to have that eligibility and come back and do that's storybook right there.
Absolutely. So next up, they're getting closer to, was it regionals coming up this weekend?
Yes, I believe so.
And then nationals. Yeah, after that, the Upper Midwest regionals coming up here, actually in March 1st. So,
March 1st, and then the nationals would be the 15th.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
So
a little bit to recover.
Yeah, you get kind of a week and a half, 2 week little span to get ready for what'll be huge. And then obviously anybody wins there and qualifies for nationals going down to lacrosse at the lacrosse center. That's going to be just a special event.
Absolutely. So had to give a shout out for Tim Fader's group. I mean, just amazing. So and then Blue Gold, sticking with the Blue Golds, women's and men's swimming and diving. WIAC championships again.
Another WIAC champion.
So it's been a pretty darn good weekend for the Blue Golds, bringing back some hardware. But that's a program, too, that this season, they were just, the meets that they were in, they were just kind of dominating, it seemed like.
Yeah. They've had a great program.
Andy Ryder over there has been doing a fantastic job, too.
Yeah.
So.
And then, peaking at the right point. Keep it going here as they keep getting towards later in the postseason. But, like you said, they've been doing great all year, and then you get to the conference tournament, and it's WIC swimming is very strong. For them to come out on top, that's just speaks volumes of what they're doing.
Yep. And then kind of more of a nostalgia feel, but they did get the win, the last game to be played at Zorn Arena.
Yeah.
Men's basketball did pick up the win, so it goes out on a high note there.
And good for Seiberling, too, for that team to win their third straight? They went on a win, they ended the season on a win. Didn't make the WIC tournament. I don't think, that's the thing, if they would have made the tournament, that's a team no one wanted to play.
For how well they've been playing down the stretch,
And they played everybody well. I mean, the Platteville games, they battled.
Close,
There were so many games where they were right there and just couldn't finish it. And at the end of the season, they found a way to start finishing those games. So a good way to end for them and build for next year.
Yep.
But, final game at Zorn Arena. It's crazy. It still hasn't kind of hit me that I'm not going to be shooting basketball there again.
Exactly.
Like, I shot there, obviously, for 13 years working here. But before that, one of my first road games I ever did in college for calling basketball was a men's basketball game, sitting courtside, and I thought it was just the most amazing place. Walked in there because it's a lot taller than a lot of the even the Quant at Stevens Point. It's a big arena for D3, but there was something about the Zorn walking in there that just had that big game feel.
Right.
So,
I mean, even Bo Ryan talked about it in his book, Another Hill to Climb. Obviously the Ken Anderson era and such and that. So, I mean, It's got quite the legacy.
Yeah, 70-plus years of basketball there. And,
Yeah.
And I think everybody, and it's a lot of looking back, but there's still a lot of looking forward because they know what the Sonnentag is going to bring and how special that place is going to be too. So it's nice to look back at Zorn, but I think at this point they were ready to move to, it's time to move on to a more modern place.
Right. Yep. Hockey-wise, the rivalry game, I know they met earlier in the month, overtime loss, but Blue Gold's falling to number 1 River Falls, who remained undefeated throughout the entire season. That's impressive as all get out.
Probably get one more shot at them in the conference tournament, but tough. It's good. It's a tough one for the Blue Golds because you wanted to really pick up one of those wins to really give you a shot at that. You never. I remember. I don't know. It was probably Jack Bennett who told me you never want to leave it up to the committee.
Yeah.
In D3, because it's so hard when you don't have that automatic bid to know that you're going to get in the tournament, and I'm sure that's what the Blue Golds are sitting right there thinking. But hey, you beat them in the conference tournament, win a conference title. That's still got to mean something on a resume, and you got to imagine if they could do that, the committee will take a look at them. They're a great team, they really are. It's just that River Falls right now is just at a different level than everybody else.
Right,
and Blue Golds are right there with them. And that first game go to overtime, you lose. What was it, 4-1 over the weekend? But it's not like you're getting blown out.
Right,
you're still right there with them, and I hope they meet up one more time for that conference title in the tournament.
I do too. That would be something. Okay, prep wise, let's start off with boys basketball.
I'll throw in
one more
hockey this weekend. The WIC tournament for the men's hockey team.
Yes.
They'll take on Stout in the semifinals. Ooh. So. Yeah, Stout got
War
one.
On 94 again there.
Stout got one from them last week, so I think the Blue Golds obviously want to take care of business because it's the best 2 out of 3 where you get the 2 games.
That's
and
right.
And if it's tied after the 2, you do the mini game, which are insane. If you've ever been to a mini game, it's about as hectic of a period of hockey as you'll
I can imagine
ever see. So
all the angst and nervousness and anxiety filled with that. Oh yeah.
And I got to imagine for that men's team that it's win the conference tournament, and that's probably their path into the tournament.
Right.
That, to me, that's just how, again, don't want to leave it up to the committee. So
right.
Got to get things done that way.
Absolutely. So boys basketball, we got brackets that got released yesterday. I've got them up here. Start off with Division I, Memorial getting a 4 seed. So they're going to be taking on Appleton East Friday. So we got a little bit that because these games will actually start next week.
Yes.
Right? So these games will start
Girls
next week.
start this week.
Yep. So Memorial, probably kind of the highlight there. Chippewa Falls did get a 17 seed. They play Rapids next Tuesday. And then North got an 11 seed, and they play Neenah. Hudson got a 7 seed, and they will play DC Everest, who is a 10 seed over there too. So Memorial, the top seed of our kind of immediate area there. Superior, though, did get a 3 seed on there too. So shall we move to Division II
sure.
over here?
I would say, with Memorial, I mean, they had tough team. The Jesperson injury hurt them, but still played tough the whole season. It's getting interesting because that east side of the state's been really strong with basketball the last couple of years.
Because Stevens Point's a 2 seed on that same side of that bracket too, and we know about their basketball.
Right, exactly. So it's going to be a tough road for anybody trying to make it to state this year. But I mean, the Memorial team, they're deep. They got the depth, so we'll see what they can do. D2, Rice Lake getting a 4 seed in Division II. New Richmond's getting a 3 seed. River Falls a 2 seed. So you got 2, 3, 4 with some very familiar teams over there. And River Falls team has played tough, played Memorial tough, beat Memorial, I believe, one of the games, if I'm not mistaken. So, that'll be see how they do in Rice Lake. Never discount Rice Lake when it comes in there.
Right.
Ryan Lease, they're leading New Richmond. We'll see what they can do, too.
Division III over here, we've got St. Croix Central's a 5 taking on Spooner. That winner will take Osceola. Then we got St. Croix Falls taking on Northwestern. They will face number 3 Somerset, whoever wins that one. Baldwin Woodville versus Ellsworth in a 7-10 battle. That winner will face number 2 Bloomer. And then Elk Mound is a 1 seed. They will face the winner between Altoona and Black River Falls. Altoona an 8, Black River Falls a 9 seed over there.
I was going to say, the interesting thing about that one is, Bloomer basically dominated the Clover Belt this year and ends up getting the 2 seed, where Elk Mound finishes second in the Dun St. Croix and gets the 1 seed. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know how the computer. I don't know if they're using computers, I think, in the basketball one now. Yeah. They must have saw something with those Elk Mound wins that moved them ahead of Bloomer. But Bloomer is a 2 seed. No one's going to want to play them as
No.
a 2 seed, and Elk Mound is a 1. Obviously, they know that how good of a team that is.
Right. And maybe he adds a little chip to the shoulder for Bloomer, too.
Right?
A little
I think
motivating
so.
thing.
I think why not?
Yep. Stanley Boyd's a 6. Arcadia is a 7 on that side.
Don't discount either of those two teams, too, especially Stanley Boyd. That's a team that has shown that they can score. So I think they could come up and surprise some teams.
Interesting. Cumberland, moving over to, I should say, Division 4. Unity's a 1. Cumberland's an 8. Webster, Shatek, Weyerhaeuser in a 5. 12 matchup. You got Cadott as a 13, taking on number 4, Ladysmith. Spring Valley's a 3 seed. They will take on the winner between Boyceville and McDonell Catholic Central.
That second round game, potentially with McDonell there against Spring Valley, which that Dunn St. Croix, Spring Valley, another one of those teams. You had Durand, Arkansas win the Dunn St. Croix, and then you had Elk Mound and Spring Valley were right there. So that just really, those 3 teams were battling the whole year for that crown.
Yeah. Shell Lake's a 7, taking on number 10, Colfax. That winner takes on Cameron.
Cameron, tough team.
Yeah. Durand, Arkansas, 1 seed over there, too. Osseo Fairchild's a 5. They will take on number 12, Mondovi. That winner takes on number 4, Fall Creek.
Which is a team that getting them a 4, they're going to be that sneaky team that obviously didn't have Bo Valrath for half the season. But
now he's back, right?
Yeah, and that's a team that can beat anybody. So that 4 bracket is going to see how that plays out is going to be really fun to see.
Yeah. Then you got Augusta's 11 taking on number 6, Regis. And then Neelsville, number 7 on there, too. So that's your Division 4. And then Division 5, you got Solon Springs as a number 1. Bruce is a number 9. You got Nauburn, number 5 over there. Turtle Lake, number 4, taking on number 13, Luck. And Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran, a 3 seed in Division 5. So,
I think the 5's, because McDonald got moved down to Division 4, I think the 5's more up in the air than we've seen in a lot of years. So I can't tell you who's going to come out of that one.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun basketball games to see who ends up getting that trip to state from that sectional.
Shout out Taylor County. Rib Lake is a 1 seed over there. Thorpe is an 8. You got Lake Holcomb as a 12. Owen Withee is a 4. Gilman is a 14. Cornell is a 15 over there, too. So there you go. That's 1 through 5 right there, baby.
It's time.
That time of year, man.
It really is.
And then, speaking of which, the girls begin this week as well for their postseason play. Regular season's all over. Games start tomorrow, right?
Yes, tomorrow it's where I think it's more or less, there's a few games in the...
Like Chi High plays tomorrow, I think.
1 through 4. It's regional quarterfinals.
Right.
Once you get to Division 5, there's a lot more games. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of slow. It tapers to... Then they'll play again on Friday is the next day. But over the weekend, big win for Fall Creek, beating Neelsville in the Cloverville crossover. And that's, 2 teams that have state aspirations right there. And that Fall Creek girls team has just stepped up in the second half of the season they got that win over McDonell a week and a half ago. And that's a team no one's going to want to see in the postseason. And they showed it by beating a Neelsville team.
So we got that begins this week, and I know you guys are going to be busy covering all those. This is
Well, we got then sectional hockey.
Yeah,
sectional semifinal tomorrow. Chi High Eau Claire Memorial round 3.
How about that one, baby?
Yeah, and the winner either faces Hudson
or Spash.
Or Spash. I mean, the 4 teams left right now. This could be your quarterfinal or semifinals for a state tournament. Instead, it's semifinals to see only one of those 4 teams goes to state. And it's almost a shame because those are 4 of the top 10 teams in the state.
Yep.
And they won't be there. So it's a shame that's how it has to work out. But it's going to make for some good playoff hockey the next 2 rounds.
Absolutely. And then, Division 2, you got number 1 New Richmond taking on Rice Lake.
Right. Yeah, so one of those 2, we'll have a team from that sectional more than likely making it to state. The other side, you got Hayward and Amory, Somerset, River Falls. I mean, so you got a lot of Black River Falls, Menominee. Yeah, so everybody who's coming out of the D2,
right?
Good chance there. And then on the girls' side, CFM Sabres will play St. Croix Valley Fusion. That also being tomorrow.
That's the River Falls Co-op, right?
Yes.
It's over there.
Yep.
So
that's a chance to go to the sectional finals. So CFM got to win over ECA. in the regional finals. So
Man, a lot of stuff for you guys to hit
state
up
wrestling
on there.
coming up this weekend.
Got a lot of individuals. I feel like I'd be shortening a lot of people by not mentioning them.
Many.
So
yeah, and then Menominee got a win in Cumberland, I believe. Mm-hmm. Got the team wins there earlier in the week. So
first time in program history for wrestling.
Yeah, which is
Menominee.
amazing. I mean, they've had some great wrestlers come through Menominee, and to just be the first time is pretty amazing.
Yep, exactly. So. Well, all right, there you go. There's your local sports roundup, Justus. Appreciate it, and big thanks for doing all you do to cover your entire team over there at SportsScene 13.
Without the teams, we wouldn't be doing anything. So it really credit goes out to the teams and my team that goes out there and is able to help me out and put it on.
Right. So big thanks for that. Thanks for breaking it down for all of us here.